Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Fight Sport Manila.
Kamusta Fight fans? It's been a while since we've been live, but welcome to Fight Sport Manila Seconds Out, where we talk about news, updates, breakdowns, everything in between, and you are a part of the conversation. There's that one big news happening this week that you want to talk about, and we have a guest who has all the information. But before all of that, as always, that intro was made by none other than legendary ring announcer Lenny Hart. And if you would want to have your own Lenny Hart ringtone, shout out, or even the intro of your podcast, all you have to do is visit lennyhart.com. And of course, the one and only Bad Boy PH, man. You gotta support that. Have you seen the ambassadors lately? Look at that. Look at that website. That guy is already going to be UFC bound, and it is official, and we're going to learn it a lot. But if you want to get all the merch, go to ph.badboy.com, because that's all you're going to see it there. And I do believe they still have a sale. So while the supplies are there, you better order. As always, let's give it up for our producer, Cholo Gonzalez.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Cholo Gonzalez here. And what a better time to celebrate Bad Boy Philippines than right now, as our very own Mark Striegl is bound for UFC. So I'm actually wearing the Bad Boy Philippines shirt over here, but I've got my eyes on that. I've got my eyes on the Mugen shirt that Bad Boy came out with.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And yeah, guys, you better check it out. And as always, this is streamed simultaneously on Facebook and on YouTube. So just comment if you want to be part of the conversation or if you have questions, because I know you guys have. Now, are we ready to bring our guest in?
All right. Yeah, I think before we guess in, I just want to remind everyone that you could actually just post your questions, suggestions right here, and I'm going to flash it. And now that we're on Seconds Out, I'll be more actively piping in every once in a while to talk to you guys.
Yeah, they missed you during the taped episode, so it's nice that you'll be here, man.
All right. Without further ado, I think you should just take it away.
Yep, he is an international coach of MMA, fitness, everything in between. He's coached a lot of celebrities, all your famous MMA fighters from Alliance. It's going to be Alliance Philippines happening soon. We'll talk about that later, but of course, you know, he is also now the host of his own podcast with Brandon the Truth Vera, Talking Truth. Let's give it up for our favorite guest, Coach George Castro. Hey, Coach, how are you doing? Hey, Coach Castro. Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Coach. Can you hear us?
Can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me. Cholo, you better go in the stream and check what's
Hey,
going on.
Coach, could you hear me, Coach?
All right.
All right, I think Coach has got a new setup going on.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right,
All
can you hear
right.
me now? All right, awesome, Coach.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're good.
Now,
we're good,
Coach, how are you doing?
How you guys doing? What's up?
I'm doing great, but look at you, Coach. The last time you guested here, it was mostly you looking in front of an iPad. Now you have that setup. You have the earphones. I see you have a mic. I mean, how does it feel that you are now part of the podcast business?
Bro, you got cut out for a second there, but I heard podcast business. You know what? I was talking to you guys off air. I think before you got on, I was talking to your brother. It's actually a lot harder than I thought, man. I give you guys a lot of props because I felt a little bit out of water there. I was like, man, I feel a little weird, but it was cool because it was talking to Brandon and Mark, so it was just us guys talking, you know. But it's a lot of fun, man. I'm excited to do the next show, and we'll have the next guest announced pretty soon. So I'm excited for it. I really am.
Yeah, that was a fun podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, we linked it in this page. So go check it out, Talking Truth. There's a lot of inside stories that I'd like to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it. But you'll see Coach Castro, Brandon, and Mark in a different light, like as being family men. You know what I'm saying?
And I think I speak for everyone when I say Coach Castro has a voice for the podcast business. I like the little
Exactly.
intros and outros over there.
I was sitting with Kim. I kind of stole that from Joe Rogan, but don't tell him nothing. But yeah, it just seems easier, you know.
Yeah,
I
she's
want to be as
watching right
smooth as
now.
him one day. That guy's smooth on his podcast, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the
he
gold
is.
Yeah, Joe
standard.
Rogan, if you're watching right now, man, thanks for the tips.
Wow, he did. He did. That's so cool. Now, let's read a comment from the fan, Lester Escosura. He learned a lot about Walmart in your episode, which, that's one of the things you'll see in the podcast, man.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I kind of
bro.
remembered or stay with when we were back in the US and we would go to Walmart. If the supermarkets were as big and unfortunately, if people were as disciplined, we wouldn't have these long lines in the groceries and
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Grocery stores in the States are warehouses. It's you can get lost in there, you know. So I understand what Mark's going through, especially because he can't eat right now. He's cutting weight, but I'm sure he'll get to eat after the fight.
He should, coach. I mean, that's his favorite thing to do. He goes on a food binge every after his fight. So, especially he's in Vegas. So
Yeah,
he has to get something there. Now, coach, I mean,
bro.
right now,
He
yeah,
was
please go
showing
on.
me pictures of tacos on his phone that he was gonna eat at a food truck when he was down in Vegas. So he was already figuring out what he was gonna eat. So yeah, it's funny. You guys know he loves to eat. So yeah, let's hope he
He
doesn't gain
does.
too much weight on the way back.
Yeah, and speaking of coach, I mean, we could say it right now. It's official. It's signed. I mean, what can you share with us regarding this deal with the UFC?
So just to be clear, like, obviously because of what's going on with COVID right now, um, the fight game wasn't on for a while. Now we got, UFC back on, and now we got ONE FC back on, and Bellator's on. So it's slowly starting to come back, right? And thank God for that, man, because already I'm excited for fight days, like I know you guys are. But now it's even more like I can't wait for the DC fight coming up. I can't wait for the next ONE FC card. So it's I feel like a kid again, like I'm reloving the sport because I'm missing it, right? But you know,
Mm-hmm.
but the whole thing with the COVID, like when this happened, I actually Brandon and Jessica left that day. Also, they went to Guam. They have a home there, and they were pregnant at the time, and now they have a healthy baby. But they went there because they felt maybe it'd be a little better. They had their own kind of area. They had an open space for their home, so just to be extra safe, you got to take all precautions. Obviously, if your wife's pregnant, I mean anybody would. But and then Mark took off to Baguio right before that, just for a few days. He's like, Coach, I'm gonna go get a few days of rest, hang out with my family. I'll come back. We'll get back to training. Well, he ended up going and not being able to come back because of the COVID. So, he kept training, doing the home workouts like all of us are doing here, at home right now. And for those of you that don't understand it, like of course if you're in shape and you're working out and you're at home and you're in good physical shape, it's still not fight shape. So he was missing that the wrestling, the sparring, the mitts with me, everything like that. And so during that, he was still doing that and trying to keep in shape as best as he could. And then I got a call from Ruby Sports, Youssef, one of their agents. Shout out to him, great guy for helping us get down to Vegas. And I talked to Daniel, who the owner of Ruby Sports is, and they told me to go look with the pandemic going on right now. It would probably be best if Mark could come down and actually live in Vegas because be have a great chance to get a fight because so many fighters are dropping out and because of COVID or whatever the issue is, they can't get here because of COVID or whatnot. But so I talked to Mark and man, he was excited and nervous at the same time. That's a huge opportunity.
It is a huge opportunity, but again, it's like he deserves it. I mean, he worked his butt off, and I mean, your guidance has been very instrumental to Mark. I mean, you yourself, coach, you could be earning being Coach Castro and Castro Fit, but still you opened your arms to all the local talent here, giving them opportunities like this. How does it feel that we have Mark competing already, but you are here in Manila?
Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm also sad because I'm no different from you right now when it's fight day for him. I'm going to be screaming at my TV, like a madman, but you're correct on that. Like everybody sees how hard Mark works on his workouts, even on his own, even when I'm not screaming at him, and that's very rare for a lot of athletes. Like those are the special ones. So he's earned that spot. Whatever help that I gave him, and obviously Ruby Sport Entertainment, it's still we never would have even helped him if we didn't see that he should be there and deserve that shot. So for Mark to have the shot, his dream, he's fought on the big stage. He fought for one, and now he's going to fight for another big stage in the UFC. So he does deserve it. He works hard, and I'm super proud of him, and I'm glad that I can be a part of it, even though I'm here stuck. And the reason I'm not going is if I would have had to live, left with him the same time, and that's just too long for me to be gone. I still have things that we're doing here. I still go down, not for the last week because it's super locked down again, but I've been going down to the gym and making sure, checking up and seeing what's going on there, reporting back to Brandon. So there's still things we got to do here. But as you guys seen on past cards, some of those fighters have been taken off because their coaches show up with COVID. Man, that I don't know what I would do if I showed up to go corner Mark and then we're in the locker room and then Mark's pulled because I showed up with COVID. Like, man, that's tragedy. Yeah, that really is. So I feel for those fighters that it happened with, and I'm sure they're going to get rebooked. But for this one, bro, I'm going to have to be like you guys and be a cheerleader through the TV. And man, he's in good hands at Syndicate. They got a roster of athletes there, so he's in good hands. He'll have a great corner with Coach John out there, and he'll do fine, man. He'll do great.
Yeah, definitely. Syndicate is one of the big names. If for you guys who don't know, like guys like fighters like Roxanne Modafferi and AJ Matthews, I believe, trains there. So Mark is in good hands.
Yeah, he's going to be good there, man. They got a good stable of fighters. They work very closely with Ruby Sports, who we work with Mark. And, Ruby Sports has some top athletes, too. They got, is it Yanda, who's the champion in Mark's weight class. So, Mark's fighting at 135 in the UFC. People are used to seeing him fight at 45. I believe he did one fight in 1FC at 35, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he did. So it was actually his idea. It was after his last fight. He said, "Hey, coach, I think I want to go back to 135. I feel bigger and stronger at that weight." So, we went back and forth, and obviously it's his choice. So I said, "Okay, let's give it a try and see how you perform. Do a small cut, and we'll train." And, he knows what he's doing. He's been cutting weight for wrestling since he was probably 6 years old. So I'm not worried about the weight cut. And on this one, man, we're looking at a very high caliber fighter that we're fighting for his first fight. Mark is fighting a legit guy. He's coming in on a winning streak. He's tough. Anytime you fight a wrestler like that, you know you're in for a fight. So they're very similar and stuff. But they got judo backgrounds and stuff like that. So sambo stuff like that. So it's a good fight for Mark. It's a very tough fight. And like I'll talk to him before the fight. Before he goes into the cage or whatever. And you got nothing to lose, man. Go in there and just do it. Just give it all you got. And that's all I ever ask of any of my athletes, no matter what stage they're on. Just give me all you got. Make sure you leave the cage, the stage, whatever the platform is, knowing that you gave it your all and you didn't quit. And I'll always be there to back you up.
Yeah, and speaking of Peter Yan, aside from Syndicate, he also trains in Thailand, Tiger Muay Thai with our kababayan Joey Angeles. She's one of the nicest. But yeah, I just want to clarify something, Coach, because there are reports that it's going to be in featherweight. But are you telling us it's 135 that he is fighting for?
Yeah, it's at 135. That was a misprint, but we made sure of that because when I saw it, I asked Mark and he talked to Daniel, the owner of Ruby, and yeah, it's at 135 pounds. So 136 was it as the title fight, but yeah, we'll see how Mark performs there. It's a big test for Mark, but as you guys know, Mark's an athlete. He deserves it, and he works hard. So bite down the mouthpiece and shit, get to work. You know.
Yeah, true. And looking at Mark right now, like he's already very thin on his face when he posted that contract signing. Man, I think he is really taking this seriously because if you guys watch his vlogs on YouTube, you would also see it. So that's also something that you have to check out.
Yeah, you know, he's counting his macros right now. He's doing really good with that, you know, and Mark is really strict, obviously. The guy always has a 6, 8, 10, 12 pack, as Brandon says, but so he's usually pretty strict, you know. So we're not worried about the weight cut. You know, it is a short notice fight. He's got roughly, I think, 11 days total, maybe 12 since we found out exactly the day we were going to fight. So it is a short time. It's a short fight that, you know, short time taken, but when somebody like an organization like ONE FC, UFC, even Bellator, when they call you, you don't say no. There's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of guys waiting for that call. So for
True.
you, for Mark to take that fight, it's a tough fight, but it was never a no. It was like, you just tell me when we're fighting, I'm here. My wife is pregnant. I had to leave her in Baguio. I have a new son. I had to leave him. I left my family. I traveled across, you know, the world basically. Man, he would have fought anybody because that's what fighters do. So, you know, I'm super excited for him. I'm proud of him from taking that step because every time you take a big step like that, you either learn something really good and valuable that's going to help you in the future, or you get that prize. Either way, you're a winner. It's not a losing situation. He's doing something
Yeah,
that a lot of us don't get to do. I never fought on the UFC stage. You know what I mean? I wasn't good enough to do that. That's why I'm a coach. So me being able to be a coach and enjoy it with my guys, it's a blessing, man. It really, really is, you know?
yeah, it is true.
Yeah, I actually want to give props to Coach Castro because imagine trying to book a UFC fight when they were doing fights in Asia was hard. Now imagine booking a Filipino fighter in Las Vegas when there is COVID, when there are no flights, and yet they got that private Alliance PH jet, right, Coach?
Yeah, we wanted to keep that secret, but yeah, yeah, I wish, right? Or I'd be flying solo all the time too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what, man? Like we were talking off air, Brandon and I, when we thought, you know, hey, let's try to take Alliance to PH, was to do exactly what we're doing now, is give, you know, people from here, Filipinos, a chance to shine on that big stage. Thank God that we do have ONE FC here that is pushing Filipinos. You know, it's great, it's awesome, and it's, as you guys see, as we all see, when they do interviews and they show the guys back at home, like they're able to start providing, you know, a house and food and stable income because of fighting, you know. And when most of them might never have been able to do that for their family, and I'm sure, so, you know, they're sending their kids to some colleges now, they're able to build a house for their mom, like, for Brandon and I, our motive was to come here, build a fight team, and give Filipinos a chance to have that stage, to be seen, to be known, to be heard in and also in the States, you know. So any athlete that I've helped here on any stage, from fighting to bodybuilding to whatever it
Uh-huh.
is, you know, I'm trying to get their names out to the States because it only opens it up for them. The more people that know you, the bigger opportunity that you'll have at some point. Somebody's going to see you and say, that's the person that I know can be a champion. And that's what I do. Like when I see somebody and I see them work and I study them for a while, I can tell, no, I'm not going to waste my time, and not in a bad way. I just don't want to waste my time or his time. Maybe there's a different coach for that person. But when I see somebody hustling and earning and really trying to do what they need to do to succeed, it makes me want to help, because I myself, I've had many chances where people shouldn't have given me chances, you know, and even to this day. So I try not to forget that. So whatever I can do, I want to be able to help other people to succeed. For me, I feel that me being Mexican is really close, obviously, to Filipino. So I feel that we're basically the same. You know, my
It's close
last
to
name
my
is
name.
already here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it wasn't a hard decision to come over here. You know, maybe we're all brothers at some point down the line. Maybe I have a
Yeah.
Lolo in some province that I don't even know. Who knows? You know, but
I
True.
was reading I was reading
yeah, that
this
was our
article,
plan,
I
and
think.
we were able to now.
Yeah, sorry, go on, coach.
No. Go ahead, bud. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I was reading an article online that they were saying that Filipinos are actually the Mexicans of Asia. Like you could look all over the world, and the closest person that you would find that resembles a Mexican or Filipinos, which is halfway across the world, right?
Bro, if I take you to my hood back home and the hood's down there and just put some clothes that I would wear, my style, you fit in right there, man.
Dude,
I'll
I
even
got
get you
a
guys a
quick story.
lowrider or something. Oh,
When I was in the US this March, I was eating at this restaurant and this nice Mexican guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey brother, what's your name?" And I said, "Oh, it's Cholo." And he gave me a weird stare. Then
he probably thought you
by
were lying, right?
coincidence, yeah, by coincidence, I was wearing a pair of Cortezes, a pair of Nike Cortezes. Then he says, "Oh, I see what's going on, Cholo." And I'd have to explain everything.
Yeah, you know what, bro? For that being your name, I never put that together, and I'm that is funny, bro. That is funny,
And
man. So,
and
but
I loved
now every time I
Cortezes
say
ever
your name,
since.
I'm gonna see a cholo every time I see your name now, bro. So,
Yeah. That's
For
that's
oh
for
what
man,
Donald Cerrone thought of his name when he went here in the Philippines. Donald was like, "Really, it's Cholo?" And he's like, "The Mexican." Like we had to
Yeah, he
explain.
was
yeah,
It's a
pretty
hard
nice
Donald's a
thing to
though.
cool
explain.
guy, man.
He
Yeah,
is.
Donald's a funny guy, bro. Like he means business, but he's a cool guy to hang around, man. I got the opportunity to hang out with him early when I was fighting, and Leonard Garcia when they were both really tight and fighting. Shoot, back in WC days, you know. So,
WEC.
um, yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a vitamin sponsor that all of us were sponsored by, and we did this event in I actually think it was the Olympia or something like that that was in Vegas, and there was a section for MMA, so I got to hang out with Cowboy and Leonard. You know, those guys were always cool, man. It was those a heck of a fighter too. You know what I mean? Both of them, but yeah, cool guys,
Definitely.
man, for sure.
Another cool person, coach, is Shaq Congo, our last guest. I don't know if you guys watch it, and especially Brandon Vera. A fan asked the question like, could you give your opinion about every heavyweight champion in different organizations? And when it came to Brandon Vera, he's like, yeah, Brandon's my friend. He's a cool guy. But when it was like guys like Stipe, he's like, yeah, I'd like to face Stipe. But when it's Brandon, it's like, I like to hang out with him. So he's a cool guy as well. Now, coach, if we could go
Yeah,
now,
I don't think Brandon really has any.
yeah, please go on, coach.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, yeah, please
No,
continue
it's a
your
fine, bro.
train.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask
No,
about
it was
if you
just
could share.
I don't.
All right, there's a delay, so clearly something's happening.
I'll
But
stop. You
yeah,
go. I'll stop. You go.
okay, okay, cool. So yeah, my question is there anything you could share us regarding the contract details of Striegl?
What Mark's contract was. So it was a multi-fight deal. He didn't just get one
Oh,
fight, so they did give him a multi-fight deal. So and that's what we were gunning for. And usually the UFC is pretty cool when you take last minute fights like that. They usually reward you because some guys have said no. You know what I mean? So when you say yes, and
yeah.
especially when you say yes to a tough guy like him, that the guy we're fighting. So comes from a great gym, as you guys already know, and around a bunch of studs. So they gave him a multi-fight deal, which is great, and he's happy with it. Talking to Mark over the phone, man, like this has been his dream, obviously, so for him to
Yeah.
get to do it, and at this point of his life, when he already has a kid and he's got another one coming, he's married, like it's perfect time. He's in his prime, so he'll have some good fights in the UFC, man. We just got to get through this one, and hopefully we get a little bit more time to prepare for the next one. But if not, because of the way the situation is right now, you take a fight and you take it and you do what you can with it. That's it.
Yeah, Mark never backs down from a fight, regardless of how long the preparation is. But his opponent is no pushover. That is for sure. Coach, is Mark going to stay there after his fight? Because there is that October event with Gaethje and Habib, just in case another fighter pulls out, or is he going home immediately after?
We did talk about that. As long as he stays healthy and he can stay there and everything's fine here at home, then he'll probably stay. Um, you know, Hopefully that he can get another fight before he can come home because it's a long trip. So we'll
Yeah,
see what happens with this. Hopefully, he stays healthy. Nothing is wrong, and they might even ask him to stay. I don't know. You guys are huge fans, obviously. So you guys have seen how many fighters have come out with not their original coaches. They just have coaches that they
true.
were training in the states with, or somebody that
True.
just said, "Hey, I'll corner you." So I think the way things are right now, it might be smart for him to stay there, and see if they would offer him another fight. Just why not? You're already there, and then maybe come home after that because they'll be closer to the holidays, and with all the scariness going on all over the world. I'm sure he wants to be home with his family like we all do. Shoot, I'm still hoping that I can get back home for Christmas this year. Well, let's hope that everything clears up. So
We have the same
I think
feelings.
we'll have to see what happens with the fight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I just
definitely.
gotta say, I just I gotta say, the UFC is actually gonna benefit from Mark because have you guys seen Mark Striegl? Like, if that guy ain't marketable, like he's jacked for UFC standards. I mean,
Yeah, man. He's got that look. He's definitely got that look that's very marketable that sponsors would want to get to. So he's got that really clean cut looking. You don't know if he's Asian. You don't know if he's American. You don't really know. You don't know what's going on. He's just buff. You know what I'm saying? So,
True.
yeah, he'll have some great opportunities. And I saw a few companies here in the Philippines hop on to run behind Mark, man. So the more
they should.
opportunities we can give people like Mark to get more recognition to athletes here in the Philippines is then we're on the right track. We just got to keep going.
Yeah, that's good
Hundred
opportunity for
percent.
Mark. And with that, coach, like I'm sure, does he still contact you regarding like in terms of the game plans that you guys are planning against his upcoming opponent, or are you just like giving it fully to Syndicate MMA for this fight?
So this is what I told Mark once we found out, and then I went and saw some footage and saw what was going on. I said, "Look, here's my opinion. Let's talk about it, me and you. Let's figure it out. But overall, since I'm not there with you, Syndicate has the final call, and they have experience fighting this guy already through another fighter of theirs. So out of respect as a coach, I have to take a back seat because I'm not there, and I have to just trust in those guys, and I know, and I do trust them, and I'm okay with it. So." I'll give him my 2 cents, if you will. But at the end of the day, out of respect, he knows that those guys are there to help him, and he's in good hands. So, as far as anything else like straight to conviction, yeah, we talk about that. There he does some stuff that I have him do, and he has his own stuff. So, but as far as actual strategy, I'll give him a couple of pointers, but other than that, it's going to be John in the corner from Syndicate.
That's really nice to hear. At least you are giving the realms to someone else who's actually there, who could physically assist him. But still, man, it's really nice that you still watched tape and told him about this, what you share your 2 cents, because I think that's always valuable.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like you guys saw in our podcast, like, he would want me there. And of course, I'd want to be there. So, we're still going to talk about, we're still going to keep this as normal as a regular fight as possible, if that makes any sense. But, me as a coach, like, if I was John, I would want him to give me the respect because he's got to know I'll take care of his fighter as much as I can. And, make sure that I'd give him the same attention that he would if he was there. So as a professional, as I know he is also, then I need to respect that as a fellow coach, and I got to respect Mark also because if I try to coach Mark from here, that's not being fair to Mark. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. We did joke around on the show and the podcast. I said, Mark, put your phone in the corner and you'll hear me scream. Just put it on
I
speaker
heard that.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's so
I
quiet in
did.
there, right? It's so quiet in there right now. But no, he's in
I
good hands,
gotta.
man. So we might talk a little bit again. What's that?
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta say that it's really cool of you, coach. It's a really unselfish move that maybe some coaches would actually take the opportunity, just to be on the camera or force themselves way in the US, but you actually prioritize your fighter's safety and you wanted what's best for Mark. And I think that's really admirable.
True.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, it's not a coach's time to shine. It's the athlete's time. As a coach, you had your time to shine when you were an athlete. Some coaches weren't really athletes either. They're just good coaches, but that's when your time was to shine. When I was an athlete, when I was trying to fight, and as we were talking off air, like, the only time that I won't work with an athlete, is disrespect and not listening, or just doing your own thing. Once you lose that respect between coach and athlete, either one of you lose it. Something needs to change, or it's just going to go down a bad hill. So, for any athletes that you guys see me work with, if it ends on bad terms, it's usually because they quit on me and themselves, or they were just sipping their own Kool Aid, and that's not cool neither. I've been able and blessed to be around so many high level athletes, as you guys know, and not because I think I'm some great coach, or I'm there because of my name or whatever it is. I was lucky enough to be able to be a part of Alliance in MMA in San Diego. A lot of coaches can't say that. I got to dive in right into the shark pool, and I got to learn from a lot of educated fighters, in the game of fighting. And I'm still learning. I have Brandon as I'm Brandon's coach, but that dude is a very well-rounded fighter, and he has a lot of knowledge about fighting. So I still get to learn off of him. Our multi coach, Coach Billy, like, man, I ask that dude tips all the time. Man, like, show me that combo. Let me hold that combo like that. Like, even Coach Carl, like, Coach Carl has more boxing years than all three of us put together alive. You know what I'm saying?
So I've heard.
So you got to get, yeah, man, you got to give those coaches respect. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you sit back and take a back seat to them. You sit right by them and you learn and you adapt and you help. That's how you become a better coach.
I
Yeah,
got a
definitely.
question, Coach. I've always wanted to ask you this. Like, how did you and Mark meet to begin with? Like, I think it's a story that most people don't know.
Good question.
Uh, it's funny with Mark. He was actually at Alliance before I was. He was there training
Oh,
before I even thought about going to Alliance. So he didn't spend very long there because he ended up living I think, a lot of his life in Japan, because I think his parents were, I believe, teachers out there. Sorry, Mark, if I'm getting this wrong, because Mark's parents are awesome, man. But yeah, so he was there before me. I think he ended up leaving, and then when I came here for our first fight with Brandon, I actually
yeah.
saw Mark with his wife cornering him, and I think AJ was cornering him. Um, AJ Pyro was cornering him. I believe that's who it was.
Pyro.
Oh yeah,
And I remember
from one
seeing Mark,
championship.
and Mark was in there doing these crazy yoga stretches, and he's chiseled, and I was like, who is this dude? I don't know who this dude is. I forgot who he fought that night or what happened, but so I kind of met him that night, and Brandon already knew him. So when we actually moved out here, I would see him, here and there, but I saw him at one of his URCC fights, and of course we knew who we were, each other were, and he was in the cage, and he kind of nodded at me and nodded at him, like, a good luck thing, you know what I mean? So after that, like, I said, okay, maybe it's an open door. So I hit him up one day, and I said, yo, man, let's get a session in. Let's try this out. Do you have a? At first, I asked him if he had a coach. He said, man, I've been coaching myself for years. I go, what? I go, you were coaching yourself for years? What are you talking about? So I said, all right, man, we got to get together, man. Let's just do a strength and conditioning session. No charge, no nothing. Let's just go and see if we connect, because that's what I came to do, was train fighters. So we connected, and it's been uphill since then, or downhill, level hill, whatever. It's been a great ride. And we've been tight, man. And he's family now, and he's a part of Alliance. He'll be the wrestling coach at Alliance, PH, once that opens. And
Oh,
yeah,
can't
that's how we
wait.
met. Now we're teammates.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, with regards to that, coach, I mean, Mark is very accommodating to everyone. Like when we messaged him, he also answered swiftly. But I'm sure right now, especially with the opportunity he has, a lot of people will come to him. Are you planning to at least give him advices on how he would handle those offers, just so that he is in the right path? Because you see all what happened to other UFC fighters who gets the wrong advice from something, and then
Yeah,
something comes out of it.
and just so we're clear,
Yeah. So
yeah, sorry, Coach. I was just gonna say that we actually avoid trying to message Mark now because we know that he's weight cutting. We don't want to schedule him for anything because, we just want him 100% come fight night, and maybe just have him after.
True.
Yeah, right now he's cutting weight. So even myself, I don't try to bug him as much. I just won't just call him. I'll text him and make sure he's up or whatever the deal is. But he knows the game. He doesn't have to report to me within 1 second of me texting. If he's busy, he's busy. He's cutting weight. Nobody's happy when you're cutting weight. So yeah, right now I'm sure he's got a lot of interviews that people want to do, but he can do what he feels he's okay doing. Maybe he'll wake up and say, "No, man, I'm not today." But it's up to him. That's his call. And as far as guiding him through his career and stuff like that, Brandon's been doing it for a long time. I did it for a little while. I have a lot of fighters that I was able to coach and learn from that have been doing it for a while. We have a big pool of people that can always help us to keep him on track. But you guys know Mark. He's not some crazy party guy. He's literally
Yeah.
just eating good food, some cheat days, and he's working out. So he's got a family now, so that changes a lot of fighters. Some it doesn't, but I think him it has. He's married. He's got his family, his parents that came down here and they retired in Baguio from Japan. So he's told me his plans that he has for Baguio, what kind of businesses he wants to open up there to create income for his family, help out the Baguio city up there, and he has a plan. So I don't worry about him straying far. Plus, with me watching him, and now he's got Ruby Sport Entertainment helping him out. He's gonna do okay as long as he just keeps listening and stays positive and never drink your own Kool-Aid. Bottom line.
Definitely. And coach, I would like to ask about, the update on Alliance, but before I do, I just want to read to you something cuz on my own personal Facebook, I shared this link and Joey Angeles from Tiger Muay Thai
Tiger
say
Muay
that
Thai.
yeah, she says I honestly see the Philippines has the potential to have a place like what we have here in Phuket, which means everyone speaks English. We have better beaches, and despite the typhoons, the beaches are good. And coach, which island do you think is best, or which has the potential for fighters to train here in the Philippines? Because she was thinking of Siargao. Do you have any like specific island in mind where you say, "Hey, this is a great place for guys like Mark or Brandon to train. So after a hard sesh, they could relax on the beach."
Oh, like kind of take a Thailand type style camp to one of the islands out here. Is that
Yeah.
what you meant?
Yep. Which island do you
You
think
know what? I'm
is
gonna be
good?
honest, man. You guys are gonna hate me for this. I have literally been to no islands but where I'm at now. I haven't been anywhere yet, man. I really, bro. You guys see me, man. I'm always with clients or working out or trying to get the gym going, something. And I always kept
Yeah,
telling
coach.
myself, I gotta go see, Palawan, Cebu, whatever. I want to go see those places. So, man, you guys tell me which place would be. I mean, I don't know about Cebu. It sounds like a little party area. I don't really know much about
True.
any of them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, from the pictures and videos I see, I think they all look pretty sick and ready to put a nice camp there. So tell her sorry, I can't help her. I'm still I'm as foreign as you can be out here. I'm as American as you can be.
Well, I think they're gonna hate us too because I personally have not been to any of the islands, but I'm sure Chola did for work. So
Yeah,
Chola,
yeah. Actually, coach, we kind of have that in common. Like, I won't go anywhere else unless it's for work. So I've been to Cebu, to Davao, to
Yeah,
Iloilo, but only for work though. I just have to. I should enjoy more.
yeah, but here we
I do
have a
too, man.
fan
Yeah,
suggestion. They say Palawan is a good place, so we should check that out because we live here
I
and we
do want to
should.
go there, man. Maybe we'll all take an Alliance PH trip out there once we get the gym going.
We
Uh,
should.
that is gonna be cool.
For
Now,
sure, man.
yeah,
For sure.
every,
Carlos,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'll
see
read
this
it.
guy. Get a life. All right, man.
no, he's a
Come
nice
It's
guy,
on.
true,
coach.
man. I
He's
can't
just
argue
messing
with
with
him.
us.
That's true, bro. Yeah.
I mean, especially
E-
now
Even
that
even my
the
American friends, my back home,
Uh huh.
even my American friends back home, they'll be like, bro, do you ever go anywhere? Just the gym? I'm like, bro, yeah, I haven't gone anywhere, man. Like, I promised Kim, man. Once the COVID gets away, whether it's real or not, I know it's real because there's people dying. But once it calms down, I need to go see those places, man. You guys too. You guys are Guys are
Yeah,
Filipinos, man. What's cracking?
I know. But yeah, that's the question I was going for, Coach. Like, ever since this pandemic happened, just like I'm sure the three of us are workaholics. Did you even think that, hey, I should have spent more time seeing the place, or getting a vacation instead of working, especially now that you don't have the access to go to those places?
You cut out there. What was the end?
Like, during the pandemic, the quarantine period, have did you change your mind in terms of being a workaholic? Like, did you wish that you could, like, after this you're gonna go out more and have fun?
Yeah, you know what? As far as work, I'm still pretty busy with online clients. I'm blessed, man, that I have so many online clients around the world. So I keep pretty busy with that, and as far as doing stuff, yeah, I think all of us might think about living life a little bit more now that we're going through this, and I did sit here a lot, and I was thinking, of course you sit by yourself. Sometimes you think worse scenarios. We all do that, and I'm thinking, man, what if the world ends right now? There's a lot of things I didn't even do here that I could have done, and I didn't even do it. So, just the little things that we all take for granted. We all need to refocus on that stuff. And I spent some time in prison, and I don't want to get into that story, but it took 3 years of my life, and I did it in Arizona, and those 3 years, no matter what I do, I'm never going to get those back. And I remember getting out, telling myself, like, don't take advantage of this, don't cry about that, don't whine about that. But we're silly humans, and we still do it anyways. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
think this is
coach.
helping refocus. It's helping me refocus on things that I've taken for granted. My family. I've been away so long from my family, trying to chase these dreams. So there's a few things that I want to do different once the world opens again and everybody's safe, and we don't have to keep the distancing and keep the mask on. And there is a lot of things I want to do now, man. I hope the whole world sees it that way. There's a lot of things that are going bad right now, but you know, try and look at some positive things, because it's hard. We all get stuck in that deep hole, especially right now. So work out, man. That saved me a ton. I bought some weights for the backyard, and I'm out there, man. I'm getting better workouts in the backyard than I am in the gym. But
True.
yeah, I'm just definitely go visit some islands once this is opened up for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
since you
relation to that, I was actually telling my friends, coach, like Mark Striegel's fight is actually. I don't want to put pressure on Mark, but Mark Striegel's fight
No,
is actually bigger than it is because the Philippines needs a win right now. Like I don't care
yeah,
which side you are in the politics side in the Philippines. Like everyone should just band together, support Mark. Uh, Fighters don't get much support in general, and we're just stuck at home. August 22, might as well just support Mark from wherever you are.
yeah, man. I mean, one question for you guys, man. Like, yeah, of course, like what you just said, like this is a time for everybody to band together, especially here. You know what I mean? A lot of people are upset. It's not just here, but around the world. So
Yeah,
it would be cool for everybody to, not everybody, of course, but majority of people that have access to a TV and obviously social media, like give Mark some encouragement, man. He's out there fighting not just for himself, not just for his family, but man, he's a Filipino too. He's fighting for the pride. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the dude just won gold in the Sea Games, man. He's here. I'm here. Brandon's here. Like, we choose to be here. We don't have to be here. We choose to be here, and we want to do good. So, for everybody to back, even if you don't like me, cool. Don't like me. Like Mark. He's nice as shit. You know what I mean? I know I'm a jerk,
true.
but I'm a jerk because I care, and I care for people to succeed, because people gave me a second, third, fourth chance when they shouldn't have gave a fuck about me, and I know that. So I want to give people a chance, you know what I mean? So when I see people struggling, I'll do whatever I can. If I see an athlete that needs help and they're willing to work and they're willing to grind and be respectful and not quit, I will work my fingers to the bone for you. Bottom line, you know what I mean? That's just the way I am. And I thank my parents for making me like to be a man, you know what I mean? And I give my word. I shake your hand, I'm gonna do it. So it's a dying breed, man. More people need to just keep their damn
that's true,
fucking word and
coach.
be a man, be a woman, and let's make shit better. Bottom line, man. It's not that fucking
Yeah,
hard,
I hear
man.
you.
So I get emotional. I get mad about that because to me, it's not that hard. It's just people are hard headed. Us as people, not just me, you, all of us. We all got shit
Yeah,
that we got to fix. You know what I mean? So until we fix our own shit, we can't fix anything. You know. So I'm trying to fix my shit because I want to go out there and do better. You know, I still have a lot of time to live. I have things I need to do, man. Like, let's hurry up and get this vaccine because I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Seriously,
Yeah.
bro.
yeah,
Man, coach,
But
your life story
yeah, man.
is really nice, but the cool thing I found out, I don't know if it's through your page or something, is that you were an ambassador for a school in your hometown, which is really cool. Like, how does it feel that, they took you as the person who kids could aspire to? I see those were like the little kids saying, I want to be a coach, I want to be a coach. Then you appeared at the end saying, I am a coach, which is, I think you were an alumni of that school.
Yeah, man. Man, when I got asked to do that, my friend Paul Sakala, he's a newscaster there in Tucson. I went to high school with him. You know, he reached out and he asked if I wanted to be a part of it. You know, and I was like, man, like it was emotional for me because that's my school district. You know, that's where I went to elementary, junior, all the way from no grade to 12th grade. You know what I mean? That's where I went. So to be able to go back, man, and just do that little thing for them, like it makes me want to go back and do more. I want to go talk to the students. I want to go talk to people that were like me. I wasn't an A student. I'll be honest. I hated school. If it wasn't for sports, I don't know if I would have stayed in school. I'm just being honest, you know. But I did good enough so I can play sports because that's what I wanted to do. Like, you know. But back in those days, I never thought I would go to prison. I never thought I would sell drugs. I never thought I would do anything like that, you know. So for me, I wish somebody like me would have went back to the school and talked. And maybe they did. I was just a shitty kid and I didn't even pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Because my
Yeah.
dad told me every time, if you don't clean up your act, you're going to go to prison, dumbass. Nah, dad, I'm never going to prison. About a year later, there I was doing 3 years in prison. You know, so man, we just got to listen more, man. And we got to respect the people that
that's
have
true.
been down that road and listen because they're telling you reasons, they're telling you tips, and they're giving you access to knowledge they have, man. So you're still gonna make mistakes, but maybe my mistake wouldn't have been as bad as giving 3 years of my life to a state prison, you know? So listen to the people, man, the real friends. If they're older than you and they're giving you a good advice, whether you want to hear it or not, because none of us want to hear the truth. That's why a lot of people don't like me. They don't like the truth. I'd rather you not like me and stay away than be fake. 100%.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So that's me, bro. I'm black and white, and if the rest of the world would just do a little bit more of that, again, that's my opinion, and I think everybody
Yeah,
would be a little bit better. You know, I should be able to say, "Hey, Cholo, I don't really like you, dude, but we'll still be cool, but just don't text me." But the world
Yeah.
can't do that because the world will cry.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If somebody told me, George, you're kind of an asshole, but you're kind of cool, I'd be then, you know what? We don't have to hang out. I see you, we're cool. We don't
yeah.
have to beat each other up, you know, but the
True.
world, you can't do it. There's too many people out there that'll cry. They're sensitive. Don't come
Yeah.
around me sensitive. I'll smack the shit out of you. Bottom line, be a man. That's it. That's it, man.
And
It's not that
in
hard. You know what I'm
relation to
saying?
that, coach, I think it's also based from your story. I think we as people should give more chances to other people. With the whole mindset of people right now, they just find something wrong with you 4 or 5 years ago, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna cancel you." I mean, if you really care about the
Yeah, bro.
person, yeah. I mean, if you really care about the person, let them make mistakes. You won't learn until you make mistakes, right?
Exactly, exactly. You know, I'm guilty for it too, bro. There's people that I should give chances to that I didn't. So I've had time to really reflect on my life and people that I've done wrong, people that have done wrong to me. You know, it's time for me to let that go, man, because it's just a burden in my head and it's taking space that I can be using to improve myself, to improve my athletes, and to make more income so that I can give myself the life that I deserve. Because I've worked my ass off. I'm 46 years old. Like I got shit to do, man. So this whole thing that's going on, it pisses me off because not here, bro, it's been good. When I go out for the groceries, I see everybody wearing masks. I see all these fights in America, and I'm America. It's embarrassing to me, bro. I think I'm better that I'm here right now than America. Because if I was out at a grocery store and somebody sneezed on me with no mask or something, oh man, bro, I'll power drive them 17 times, bro, and I'll laugh at them. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, bro. Like that's not cool, man. Like, how are you gonna go and spit on somebody? You don't want to wear a mask? Cool, don't wear a mask. Because if you spit on
Yeah.
me, I'm knocking all your teeth out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
coach.
one, you shouldn't spit on anybody, anyways, and especially not during this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm better off that I'm here because some Americans aren't acting right, man. Like put a freaking mask on or don't go, man. It's really not that hard. It has nothing to do with politics, man. Who cares? I can't even vote because of my record, so I don't care one way or the other, Biden or Trump. I think they're both not going to do any good. So for me, I don't care. It gets me upset, but you know, I think the president should have wore a mask a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? A hot spot in the states right now is Arizona, my hometown, and
Yeah.
that's one of Trump's states. And look what happened. There's people dying. I have people that are friends there that are nurses. They've told me, man, coach, it's a mess. It's full. Man, why didn't you guys wear masks? It wasn't mandatory. You know what I mean? So there's just too many egos, man. I've had one. I still have one. I got to check myself once in a while. You know what I mean? So we all got to take responsibility for ourselves, or it's always going to be a messed up place, man. And I don't know. That's why I keep my circle small because if I don't, there's too many clowns out there. I don't have time for that, man. I'm 46, and I don't want to be angry and mad at people that don't know how to act. I'd rather just be in my own dozen friends, and that's it. You guys are in the crew, so we're all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're
That's
in the
beautiful.
circle.
So, anyways, man, we got off track there, but let's go back to Mark. He's my hero right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was
true.
pretty cool, though.
Yeah, another thing is, aside from Mark, we also have other heroes, and that's our frontliners. I mean, Coach already said what's happening, so please, guys, let's try be as obedient as possible to what is happening. Wear a mask. I know people from the states watch this, so please wear a mask. It's
Yeah,
gonna a small
You
thing
know
could
what, too,
go
man?
a lot.
Okay.
You know what should happen too, man. And this is not just here. It's not just in any country. This is globally. When that the vaccine comes out for COVID around the world, bro, around the world, the first people that should get it are the doctors, frontliners,
True.
automatically. Everybody else comes second. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately,
Yeah.
everywhere in the world, the first people that are going to get it are the million and billionaires. 100%. That sucks. Around the world, frontliners and doctors should get the first vaccine 140,000% first. I hope that happens,
I
but
agree, coach.
we'll see, man. We'll see, We'll see, man. So I don't know. I mean, it's a trip right now, man. So let's get back on something positive. Alliance PH is still gonna open,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yeah,
Awesome,
could you
coach.
share with us anything regarding Alliance PH for now? Like, what are the updates that you could share with us?
You know what? I don't. Of course, I don't have all the information like you guys. It's. I don't know what's gonna happen. We're still in, but the last week of this second kind of lockdown thing. So, I don't know what's gonna happen with the gym scene around here. But like I told you guys off air, I still go down there. I haven't lately because of the re-lockdown. But you know, um, I think that right now they're still working on it. The bottom floor is clean. It looks pretty much where we just have to put the equipment in now. They're putting the fixtures in on the bathrooms. So there's things that are happening still. It's still getting built. Brandon has the investors that he got on his side. I have a married couple that are great. They're our last investors, and we're all keeping in contact. Everybody's still on board, and we're really just waiting, man. Like no matter what, man, we have to get that gym open. I literally, bro, left my family, my life, my job, my career at Alliance, my clients, my fighters to come over here to build what we have built over there. If I leave now and don't do it, it's gonna be a regret of my life forever, and it's gonna haunt me. So I need this shit. We all need this to be over so we can get back to work. So Alliance PH will still open as far as I know, as far as the world lets us open it. And as soon as I have more info, I'll let you guys know. I keep in contact with Brandon, even though he's in Guam. So we're still, that's the plan, man. We still want to open that up.
Yeah,
Yeah, coach,
perfect.
I have a quick question about Alliance PH. Like, if Mark is going to be fighting in Vegas, is he also going to be representing Alliance PH and Syndicate, or how does that work?
You know what? I'm not even gonna bug about that. I'm gonna, because again, I got to give respect to Syndicate. They didn't have to let him go there. They could have said no. You know what I mean? They could have said no.
That's
But
beautiful,
the MMA
coach.
community, it's the MMA community it's huge, but it's small. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? So for a gym to let other guys in and under these circumstances, man, I got to give the reins to them. So if Mark wants to add Alliance, if he doesn't, if he just throws Syndicate, man, I'm all good because it doesn't matter what I think. And I know Brandon would say the same thing. This time right now, it's Mark's time.
Uh-huh.
Mark does what he wants. If Mark said, "Hey, coach, I want my mom in the corner," guess who's going to be in the corner? His mom. So right now, man, it's not about me. It's not about Alliance. It's not about anybody. It's just Mark. So I'm okay with him saying fighting out of the Philippines at Syndicate MMA, whatever he wants to do. It's up to him.
Man,
Yeah,
how I
perfect.
wish all coaches would think the same way. It's really admirable about you, Coach George. I mean, other people would take the opportunity just to get their face out there, you know?
Yeah, and with that, I'd just like to read a comment from Joey Angeles again. Tiger Muay Thai. Open air gyms should be open. Places that to keep people moving and healthy. It is insane. It is closed. If it's open air gyms, coach, like in her case, it's in Thailand. Do you think that
Mm.
what are your thoughts regarding those kinds of situation?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm gonna go to Thailand. I haven't gone to where all the gyms are. I haven't gone down that road yet, where AKA all these guys are, One Tiger, all those guys. But I will go as soon as things get better because that's one of my destinations. But for me personally, bro, it's too hot. I won't live. I can't. I'll die in a gym like that. I'm just gonna be honest. I'll be a miserable, bitter old man coach if I had to work out in that heat. I just couldn't do it. But I I understand the culture and it looks cool as shit. And I want to go visit. Thailand. I've been to Bangkok when I made my bad boy deal, but now I want to go down and see where all the gyms are and be a part of that and check it out. So for me personally, it would be cool if something like that open here, but it wouldn't be something that I would do because it's just I would be miserable there. It's too hot for me.
Oh, maybe we could visit and have some smoothies. But I want to go back to you wanting to open alliance, coach. Like that is very admirable because I'm not sure if you are aware, but some of the small gyms here are already closing, and they need someone like you, like Brandon, who has a platform to say that, hey, there is still market for the health and fitness because once you started it, that's the time everyone else would have confidence in putting investing into businesses like this again. And it's really nice that you personally would want to still move forward with having alliance opened. And if you did, I know you're going to do it safely because you are one who always sticks into protocols and you're not gonna like half-ass everything. So I really want to check that out once alliance is open.
Yeah, of course we want to open. Every gym here does, and we have to do it safe. So, maybe obviously the cleaning crew would be bigger, more towels, more all that stuff. But as far as still wanting to open alliance because we we it's a huge gym. It wasn't a cheap gym, so we have some good investors that are great people and we need to fulfill that for them also because they trusted us with that. The way the world is right now, who knows if the world will let us do it? But if the world will let us do it, then we need to do it because those people trusted us with money they earned. They didn't have to give us that money. So we need to fulfill that. And if something doesn't let us because of the world, then of course they'll understand. But not only for
Yeah.
that, but bro, I've been here for 3.5 years and I haven't done what we came to do. Like I said, that will haunt me if I don't get that done.
Yeah, I get you, coach. Now, yeah, moving into other things, because again, this is a show about news, updates, and breakdowns. One of the biggest fights happening, the trilogy, Cormier versus Stipe. Who do you have winning that fight?
You know what, man? That's a tough fight because I know Stipe is saying it was luck, and then I don't, man. I know. I'd rather be better than lucky. I know a lot of people say it the other way, but lucky only happens once in a while. If you're good, then it's going to keep happening good, right? So I think that DC will pull it off. If you've heard his interviews, I'm sure you guys have. Like, of course, it's a big deal for Stipe. Of course, it's a huge deal. He wants to keep the title, but DC, like, this is his last fight, and he knows it. And usually when a fighter says this is my last fight and they go into a fight, they don't perform well because they're halfway out the door. You guys have heard Dana say that. So,
Mhm.
but I think DC is a different kind of competitor, and I'll tell you why. You have athletes, and then you have athletes. The athletes are the guys like DC who win the medals in Olympics. That's a higher level. When you're an
Just like
Olympic
Mark.
or any kind of medalist like that, yeah, you're a freak. You're a freak of nature in your head. You know what I mean? The only other one that I can see that wasn't an Olympic medalist but has the same work ethic and has the same mentality is Dominic Cruz. And look where he's gotten because of that drive. I was with that dude for I don't know how many of his surgeries that he never should have bounced back from. And he's had many that I wasn't involved because I was doing my own thing. But that type of mentality will always win. That's why I'll always take that wrestler because if you come from a wrestling background, I know that you'll eat rocks before you quit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
coach,
yeah,
uh,
that's
yeah, going to your podcast, Talking Truth, like, could you share with us the story on how you and Brandon came up together to say, hey, let's do
It
a
ain't that
podcast?
easy, coach, eh?
you know what, man? Like we talked about it over a year ago. I think it was just like, hey, man, we should do a podcast out of Alliance, and because back in San Diego, when we would be done doing our strength and conditioning, we didn't do it for too long because we ended up moving out here. But we did something called Truth in the Mirror. So I would hold the phone, or Brandon would, and he would just talk through the mirror in the weight room at Alliance. So we kind of already been doing something like that, and we talked about it about a year ago, if not more. And just like a lot of people, I was having a hard time here in the pandemic because I was like, man, going from being so busy to trying to find something to watch on TV, and there's only so many videos of fighters and workouts that I can watch before you go crazy. So I told Brandon like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing podcasts, just to get my mind off of all the negative stuff and just I see you guys doing your thing. It looks like fun. Everybody has a podcast now, but it just looks like it's a fun time, man. And if you guys saw our podcast, it was just me, Mark, and Brandon, just being us. Like if we were in the gym and nobody was there. So I want to keep that kind of vibe in our podcast, and just keep it. It wasn't really like you guys got a professional setup. Like ours isn't like that. You know what I mean? Like you guys got some cool
Come
stuff with
on,
Lenny Hart and
coach.
stuff. Me, I was just like 3, 2, 1, let's roll. And then we said like later, and then we bounced out. So yeah, man, just friends talking. I want to get some local celebrities on, and we'll get some guys from the States, but I think there's people here that need to be spotlighted more than people from America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys have to start thinking of how you can make your country better. Stop looking at America.
That's
Don't
true,
copy
coach.
that. Do your own thing, man. You're your own country. Do your own thing. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Don't copy. Don't do it because that looks cool. If it looks cool and you can do it your own way and put your own flavor, that's different. But be who you are. Don't look at something on TV and just try to be that. Like I don't do that. I'm trying to be me wherever I'm at. I don't care if I lived in Nigeria or if I lived in China or whatever. I'm going to be me. I'm going to dress how I want to dress, and I'm going to have my attitude the way it is, and that's it. So we all have to figure out how to bring more attention to this country in a positive way. And
That's
people
true,
don't
coach.
realize it, but sports is a great way to do it because you learn a lot
For
from being
sure.
on a team. You learn respect. So that's why when I get a fighter, an athlete, it doesn't matter what they are. When the respect is gone, you got to go, man, because it's not going to be good. So here, like you said, everybody needs to band behind Mark, man. Not just I'm not saying that just because that's my fighter. No, man.
Yeah,
Like every fighter, that's a huge stage. He's going over there, of course, representing himself, our gym, but on top of that, the Philippines, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why
that's
wouldn't
true,
you want to
coach.
see him? Why wouldn't you want to see him on the stage winning, man? Why wouldn't you? It's only going to bring positive attention to this country. That's all it's going to do. People are going to be like, oh shit, they got some fighters over there, which they already should know because the 1FC is doing a great job. But as well as you guys know, for whatever reason, everybody only knows UFC. When people say I train UFC, it's not, you don't train UFC, you train MMA. UFC
I know what you
is
mean,
is a
coach.
brand. MMA is the sport, you know? Like I wouldn't say, yeah, I play MLB. No, man, I play baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? So,
I do
it's
Castro fit.
you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, we got to find ways to bring more attention in a positive way here, and sports is
That's
probably
true.
one of the biggest stages to do it on. I mean, look at the amount of people that are going to watch this fight because we're in a pandemic. Everybody's at home, and there's a Filipino on the big stage. It should be a big
True.
thing here. It really should. It should be
It
all
is,
over
coach.
social media, man. It should be all over social media.
And coach, I think what most people don't realize is if they would actually put themselves in the shoes of Mark, like you're this Filipino guy going to Las Vegas during COVID, like meeting these people, although they're nice though, but you're meeting them for the first time. You're staying alone. You're nervous for the fight. You're cutting weight. I mean, yeah, people should have more compassion towards that, and the least we could do is support Mark, right?
Yeah, man. Exactly like you said. We got fortunate again to Ruby Sports, Syndicate MMA. John, the owner of Syndicate MMA, his mother's house is actually like a fighter's house. That's where Mark is at. So Ruby
Mm.
Sports got him that spot for 2 months, paid up front, no charge, no repay. They put him there because they have that much faith in him. So if two guys from the states have that much faith in him to bring him. Mark paid himself to go over there, but to get him a place to live, to get him a high-ranking gym to train out of. Every Filipino here that knows that Mark's going to fight should tune in and should send him a message and say, "Yo, man, we got your back." Because if two guys from, I don't even think Yusef lives in the States. I think he lives in another country, but the owner Danny's from, he lives in Vegas. So it's a time to come together, man. Win, lose, or draw,
That's
he's on the
coach.
biggest stage right now. He's on the biggest stage.
So yeah, there you go to all the audience. You guys should hit up Mark. And I know a few of my friends already did. They shared their picture with Mugen on their own social media accounts, and Mark is still liking those photos even he's busy training. So that's how cool of a guy this fella
Yeah,
is.
for sure, man. For sure, when
Yeah,
he's
and
done fighting, hopefully he gets a couple of fights in. He'll do all the interviews he can, and I'm sure you guys will have him on. So, it's just right now, like you guys said, thank you for respecting his time because I guarantee you, if you looked at his inbox right now, it'll be blown up. You know what I mean? So, just mine alone, and I'm not even fighting, was blowing up. So I think I had to charge my phone like 3 or 4 times today. Emails and texts and all this kind of
yeah,
crazy
coach.
stuff. But again, man, like it's what I love to do, man. So for me to grind like that, if it's just on emails, phone calls, texts, and it's about something positive like what Mark's doing, man, how can I, you know what I mean, man?
Yeah,
How can I not be happy, bro? I'm blessed, you know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, everybody just, say a prayer. He's got a very tough fight. He knows that. It's a game fighter. And, UFC is pushing this guy. So it's an uphill battle, but Mark is ready for the task.
and on that note, coach, I also want to add, like, I guess this also shows everyone that you should support your local fighters, like when they're still coming up, like support your local neighbor, that guy in the gym, because one bad trait that I see with, well, maybe not just in the Philippines, but people only care about you when you're about to go to one championship or about to go to UFC, but those people aren't there when I won't name any names, but like some people after going through their highs in their career, like people used to treat them so well, but after their stint in whatever organization, they just don't treat them the same way.
Yeah, those are the people you got to be careful with, and once you do, you become that athlete or celebrity in anything. You it takes you a while, but you start seeing, all right, what does this person want? You know what I mean? Like it gets to that point, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people they don't know what boundaries are. They don't know what a border is. You know what I mean? Like, there's times when to bug us, a celebrity, and there's times when not to. They're still just regular people. So, you
Yeah,
know, it, it's hard, man, because there's people that support you, and you never want to be rude to somebody that supports you, for sure, because they're part
of
of the
course.
reason why you're successful, because they're cheering you on, and they're on your side. But sometimes, man, you just got to put yourself in their shoes. Like you said, he's over there in a place where he hasn't been to the States in 10 years, for one.
Hmm.
He's over there during COVID. His wife is pregnant. He just had a new boy, Maxie. He's only like 1 year old. He's got his parents here. He doesn't have his main coach there. He's in a whole different living arrangement, gym arrangement. Literally went from what you and I are doing right now, aside from him training like an animal, he went from a COVID lockdown to a UFC fight in a matter of weeks.
Man,
It's
true.
crazy shit. It's crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. So for me, man, Mark knows win, lose, or draw. You go in there and you give it all you got. I'll give you a hug and buy you a beer after the fight, man. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that is something Mark would really like. I mean, he always likes to have a beer after his fight. Have you guys talked about already? Like, are you gonna meet up after eating somewhere, or like, are you just gonna let him do his thing for after this fight?
Yeah, it just depends. Like, obviously, I can't have a beer with him yet because he won't be here either way. But it just depends if he, because we talked about it. We said, hey, man, they might ask you to stay for another fight. So it just depends, because he'll have to. I'll see him because he'll pass through here when he gets home to go to Baguio. You know what I mean? Either way, win, lose, or draw, I need to see him and give him a hug and just let him know that I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? So win, lose, or draw. When he gets back here, we'll get some lunch. Hopefully we're not on super lockdown when he gets back, and we
True.
can actually hang out, and have a beer somewhere. But that all that's later. Right now, he's got that big job at hand, and he's cutting that last weight, which isn't going to be easy because it is last minute. But again, there's going to be people that are going to either hate or be happy. Either way, for me, it's just go in there, man, and just as long as you give it all you got, man. I know I'll be behind you. And Filipinos are like Mexicans, man. Our fighter can fight 10 times and lose 10, but if he goes in there and he throws hands and he gives it heart, I'll always support that dude. You know what I'm saying?
True,
Soon as you quit
true.
in a fight, kick rocks because you're useless to me. Bottom line. So it's basic,
Yeah.
man. It's basic.
You know what, Coach? What you just described is actually like a nice documentary, like how it's all set up. Mark going to the U.S., being alone, and if win, lose, or draw, right? Whatever happens, it's a pretty cool story to tell.
Bro, how many people that can say that story? I don't know a lot.
Just Mark,
You know
I
Same
what I
guess.
here.
mean? So, and like I said, he got a multi-fight deal, man. He's not gonna, one fight, never see him again. He's got a multi-fight deal. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be back in there. And at the end of the day, man, it's about the experience. That's it. It's about being
Yeah,
able to
Coach.
go in the back room and vomiting and being scared, and because every time I fought, I was sitting there and I wasn't on the big stage. I fought in one big stage in London, and that was it. The rest of them were smaller fights. But even those, man, when the door knocks and it's your time to go, before that, what's really going through your head is, the fuck am I doing here, man? I can have a regular job. What am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have to
That's true,
understand,
Coach.
man. Like, think about what you would do to this dude if you're in an 8-12 week training camp. What you want to do to this guy's face? 100%, he wants to do that to you too. So at some point, you're going to meet in the middle of the ring, and you guys are going to find out what's what. So it's a mind game, you know what I mean? You can be in the best shape possible, but once you get in there and you have an adrenaline dump, you're done. There's nothing you can do. Your arms feel like they're 3,000 pounds each, and your legs feel like they're buried in mud. So it's a lot. People don't understand that it's not just get in shape, go in there and throw hands. I don't know about you guys, man, but if you haven't been in a street fight or you haven't been in a sparring match, until then, you don't understand when punches are
I
coming
know,
at you.
coach.
It's a
It's
different
it's
world,
very
man. It's a
humbling.
different world, and
Yeah.
of course, bro, I don't condone street fighting at all. But when you're in there sparring at a gym, and you start feeling those punches come to you, your gas tank, when you thought you were in shape, if you're not ready, your gas tank will be zero. I've seen it. I've seen
That's true,
fighters go in
coach.
there and have an adrenaline dump, and I was like, man, it just looked like you've never trained a day in your life. You were so exhausted because mentally you took yourself out of the fight. So, you know, Mark's been there before. You guys saw him walk down for the ONE FC fights. He's been on the big stage, so he'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
coach.
This is the part of the show where we usually ask the hardest question, but this is my question for you, Coach. This is from the episode 1 of the Talking Truth podcast. You said that you and Kim will be giving Brandon's kid a pair of Jordans. Please tell us what Jordans are those going to be?
uh whatever. No, you know what? I'm gonna have to get some retro ones because I got some shoes back here that I collect. But if you guys go follow my brother, he's got a shoe room, like a room you walk into, and it's just shoes
Wow.
on the wall. And there's some that you just can't find, and there's some that you shouldn't even touch them. You know what I mean? So I've always been a sneakerhead. When I was younger, I still am. My brother's a super sneakerhead now. So, we'll see maybe we'll get him some cool retro ones or something like that. But if he's like Brandon, he's never going to wear shoes. So it might just be something that they can put on the shelf.
I love,
That's
coach.
true. But like for all sneakerheads watching, Coach Castro has some sick pairs in his closet. I've seen him wear Concords, the Jordan 1 Defiant. There's a lot of good stuff there. Man, how do you
You
get
know
your
what,
hands
coach?
on those, Coach? Those are
Coach,
easily sold out.
you should make a video about your collection.
Not because a real sneaker collector would laugh at me. So,
Come on,
even my
coach.
brother, I sent him a picture one day of my sneaker collection here, and I said, "Bro, get on my level," and I was just laughing, right? Because I'll send you guys the link of my brother's IG so you can see his shoe room when he puts stories
Sure,
up, and
coach.
he's not even done with it yet. So, but yeah, man, like I've always been a sneakerhead, man. I love to be honest. When I was in prison, I was still getting sneakers. I was a sneakerhead in there. It's just for me, man. Putting on. You know what? My first job, bro. My first job when I was 12 or 13. I think I was 13. The Jordans. I think 3 had just came out or something. I was a freshman or something, and of course, my mom and dad weren't going to buy me Jordans. A lot of parents weren't going to buy their kids Jordans at that time. You know what I mean? Because $100 in 19. Shit, I'm old. So 1987 was a lot of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
got a
coach.
job at
True.
13, got paid under the table just so I can buy my first pair of Jordans for my freshman year of high school. Man, I'll never forget that, bro. You know what I mean? So I
You must
thank
have
my
felt like
parents
a
for
boss,
for
coach.
bro, yeah, but thank my parents for showing me what hard work is because it's carried on to now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I'll give you guys the link so you guys can check out my brother's shoe collection. But yeah, it's always something I love, man. And me buying him shoes as when he was a kid, it just got him hooked on to being a sneakerhead.
Yeah, those are some cool stuff that we have to see. But yeah, Coach, come on, those Concords. I fell in line to get some Concords. I didn't get one. That's how like
Bro,
easy it got sold out.
ask Kim, bro. Like my shoes stay in the boxes. They have stuff in there so that the humidity here doesn't ruin them. I clean them before I put them on, and when I get home, I clean them and put them back in the box. That's how you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I have shoes from years and years ago that look like I just bought them at Foot Locker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, coach. Have
Cool.
you influenced Kim? Have you influenced Kim yet to start collecting sneakers or something?
She's got a couple Jordans now. She'll be getting more. Yeah, she didn't like them at
Oh, there we
first,
go,
but
Miss Kim.
she's turning into a little sneakerhead. I have to get her some more Jordans. But hey, when we get married, I'm wearing Jordans. You guys see me in that suit with Jordans, so
Oh, we
that's
should
Yeah,
how I'm
be
gonna do.
we
All my
did.
booze, man. Yeah,
Are you gonna
whoever's
have
in my
are you
wedding,
gonna
you
have a
ain't gonna wear
towel?
nothing. Well, Yeah, I'm gonna have a towel. I'm gonna have my Jordans, bro. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
For
Awesome,
sure,
coach.
man.
Yeah, and I
Anyways,
think
coach. Yeah, please
yeah,
go
yeah,
on,
go
Charles.
ahead. Yeah, anyway, I think before we get any further, I think now would be the best time because Joey Angeles from Tiger Muay Thai says you are more than welcome to come to Thailand, coach, and train with them. And on that note, coach, we're gonna reveal our
Thank
next
you,
guest
Joey.
Monday, and it's actually gonna be Alexander Volkanovski, UFC champion, featherweight champion.
Oh, nice. That guy's a
All right.
savage.
He
Yeah,
is. He
well,
is a
Mark
savage.
might see him somewhere down the
I
line,
mean, look
though.
at him right there. He looks like an action. He looks like an action figure.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that guy's a beast. He looks like an action figure.
Well, I mean, come on, coach. Your Castro Fit clients are also like action figures. I mean, Brandon Vera looked so good
I'm blessed,
once he went, man. That's so good.
bro. I'm blessed to have some great online clients, man. From here all the way to the States to Japan and Australia. I have some. I'm missing places too, man. Man, I'm blessed, man. Like my phone is nonstop because it's different time zones, you know. But it's
Yeah,
cool,
coach.
man, to wake up to. It's cool to wake up to a text from somebody in a different country saying that they're so happy because they're getting the results they paid for, man, and not because my program is better than anybody else's. It's just that relationship that I build with my clients, you know. So, you know, online coaching isn't the easiest for anybody to follow or do. You know, it's a lot of work
Yeah,
sometimes, but it's really even more of a trust issue. So I'm really glad that the online clients that I have now are man, it's great. You know what I mean? I'm very lucky.
Yeah, perfect. Now, coach, before we let you go, man, is there anything you'd like to promote? Anything like to get off your chest so that the people would be aware? Aside from the Talking Truth podcast, that has the episode 1. We linked it already, so check it out.
No, man. I mean, you know what, bro? Like, I appreciate you guys, what you do, man. You guys are always putting Bad Boy on your stuff, man. And people buy Bad Boy. And I appreciate, everybody here that's purchased Bad Boy. And we're trying to get everything at a price that everybody can afford. It is hard because we do have standards that Bad Boy they won't let us. It's just the way it is, you know. But we're doing our best, man, to get enough stuff that you guys, anybody can buy here in the Philippines. That way everybody can wear it because it's a great brand, man. You guys know my passion behind Bad Boy, and I still love them to death for they giving me the opportunity to do this. And thank you for that. The podcast, we have another guest coming up soon, and with the podcast, we want to keep a lot of people here so that way people get informed on what's going on here and stuff. So you guys keep doing a great job, man, and putting these great fighters on there and athletes. Like you guys are getting really good, man, and I'm proud of you guys, man. And yeah, man,
That
everybody
means a
just be
lot, coach.
safe, and let's all try to be a little nicer. Even I am because I know I can be an ass sometimes. So I'm trying to be a little nicer for everybody, man, so that we can all get along and hopefully come out better from this pandemic. And man, we only got a short period of time on Earth, man, and it's not taken for granted. So um, hope everybody learns something and takes something positive. We whoever comes out alive from this, man, we're lucky that we come out alive from this. So don't forget that. And then you know what, I want to say something, man. I don't want to get into this because it's a touchy subject for me, but depression is a big thing right now. So
Yeah, coach.
talk to somebody. Call somebody. If you don't have somebody to call, man, send me a message and I'll direct you on somewhere to call because it's a scary thing. So everybody has to help each other. This is a crazy time. Nobody's built for this. I've been in prison and it's still hard for me. No, people aren't built to live like this. So if you're having that trouble, man, reach out. Somebody will help. Don't think that you're alone. Never think that you're alone because there is somebody out there that will listen or else give you somewhere to go that somebody will help. So if you see somebody having a hard time, I've lost somebody, people to suicide. It's not a cool thing, man. So if you see somebody that you think might need help, approach them cautiously, and just be there for them. Don't try to fix them. Just be there to hear. So everybody stay safe, man. Love you guys in the Philippines. Thank you, man, for all the support. And I promise you, we're still trying to, we're gonna get Alliance PH open. We're gonna do what the fuck we said we're gonna do. And everybody get behind Mark, man. He's the face of the PH right now. Let's help him out, man.
Yep, we have something to look
Beautiful.
forward to on August the 22nd, guys. That's Mark Striegl making his UFC debut. Again, thank you so much, Coach. Charles, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually, Coach Ken touched on everything. Like, I think more people should actually hear what Coach Castro has to say. And coming from someone like Coach Castro, I mean, it says a lot, you know. I mean, people would look at Coach and think that he's just all about MMA, combat sports, bodybuilding. But, you know, Coach is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And he actually gave really good advice that I think everyone should follow. I mean, regardless of your age, political stance, or whatever. I mean, it's universal, right?
Yep. And
For
also,
sure.
you got when Alliance opens, check it out. And I'm sure Coach is there. You can talk to him, say hi. He's one of the nicest people ever. Again, thank you so much, Coach Castro. This
Yeah,
is
man.
Fight Sport.
Please.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
thank you. This is Fight Sport Manila. Seconds out.
See you guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Fight Sport Manila.